Welcome back on this Monday morning. Prosecutors want the death penalty. Defense lawyers are hoping for life in prison for the man convicted of one of the 3 Kaufman County murders. Veteran criminal defense attorney Barry Sorrels sat in on the trial of former Justice of the Peace Eric Williams. He was a lawyer before he lost his law license, before he was accused and convicted of this crime. Did he take an active role in his trial, or was he just a passive presence?
He has a sophisticated background in the law. He was a court coordinator at a criminal district court in Kaufman County for several years. Then he went to law school, got his law license, opened up a law practice on the square in Kaufman, then ran for Justice of the Peace and won. So he knows a lot about the system. Now, I'm not privy to behind closed doors. My guess would be that he's been working with his attorneys a lot.
But not visibly to the jury anyway.
No, it's hard to say.
The prosecutors promised the jury that this was going to be a virtual slam dunk. Took 90 minutes to convict him. Is that a slam dunk? That's
definitely a slam dunk. I mean, these prosecutors are smart people. They know how to evaluate the facts of a case, just like the defense knows what the state's case is going to be, and they know what the bad news is coming on guilt or innocence. But they're not gonna go seek the death penalty. The state's not, in cases where they're not certain they'll get a guilty conviction. That'd be a big waste of the taxpayers' dollars.
The defense did not present a single witness. In fact, didn't really do any cross-examination of any substance at all, and saving their energy and their credibility in front of the jury for the penalty phase for what happens now, life in prison or death.
That's exactly right. The battle really begins now. The evidence on guilt or innocence was overwhelming. The defense knew that. They didn't want to take on evidence that couldn't be refuted, destroy their credibility. What most people don't know is that there's only 2 possibilities, like you said, death sentence or life without the possibility of parole. And whether or not you get that depends upon 2 special issues that the jury have to decide what the answers to those questions are. The first is the defendant going to commit acts of violence in the future and be a continuing threat to society? That's number 1. They have to prove future dangerousness beyond a reasonable doubt. The second question the jury has to consider is taking into consideration all of the evidence, the circumstances of the offense, the background and character of the defendant, his personal moral culpability. Is there any mitigating factor that would cause the justice to be the return of a life sentence without the possibility of parole?
It is very likely that Kim Williams, his estranged wife, would be a key in proving that he might be a future danger, because there are other people allegedly on the hit list and she was actively involved. So if they want to prove he's a future danger, she could be a key to that.
That is exactly right. People were saying, well, I thought she was going to testify. Well, they didn't need the testimony of Kim Williams on guilt or innocence. They're going to call her at punishment, and just for that purpose that you just described, because she's going to provide valuable testimony about him being a future danger.
Exactly. Barry Sorrels, thanks.
Thanks,
really
Tim.
appreciate your insight. We've got more to come here.